Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the critically acclaimed, the Pop the Trunk podcast, now Patreon exclusively sponsored. New Year, new me. Happy New Year's, ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Fame. Recency Bias Radio, with me, of course, is your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, Smith Dog Trill, the Rant God, Hotep Thanos, Metro Kaiba, the Pro Black Prodigy, all of the above on that ISAT test and ACT. You know what it is. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the 11th Challenge 36 Double Agents Rant. And I hope you all are ready for one. Today there's a lot of chaotic things happening in the country. So I decided to make this rant public because I believe everyone deserves and damn it, they demand an escape from what's going on. And what better way than to provide a rant for everyone? Because, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to get in this rant tonight is going to be the type of stuff you're not going to get anywhere else. Yes, this will be the greatest advertisement for my Patreon known to man because I'm unleashing hella shots. Okay? Now, the patrons, they saw a specific Patreon-only exclusive rant last night, detailing a few articles. I jumped to a few conclusions. And by golly, I don't mean to toot my own horn, ladies and gentlemen, but the patrons will tell you anyone with a wrench next to their name and infinity gauntlet in their hand, they'll tell you, coach, a lot of the stuff I said last night is playing a role tonight. Because I am seeing production go out of their way to attempt to set up CT for a win. Because they are making sure his henchmen in Devin and Kyle are set up to win as well. And as long as CT has enough shields around him that should be respected enough physically, technically speaking, CT has free reign here to dominate the late game. And that is the majority of the takeaways I'm taking from this episode. Now, let me not bury the lead here. Faysal's betrayal, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. That came out of left field, ladies and gentlemen. And Faysal is one of the biggest hypocrites I have seen in reality TV history. And that says a lot because Josh's ass is one of the biggest ones too. But he makes Josh look sane in episodes like tonight. Can we keep it funky, coach? For Faisal to try to imply the reason why he's turning on the Young Bucks is because they have ties to other people he ain't cool with. But then he basically sells his soul to the production pet devil by aligning with Devin just because Devin is now partners with the woman he would love to dirty Mac with. Faisal threw away his entire game, y'all. Let's keep it real. He threw away his entire social game, all because he wishes he had Tory's box. Can we keep it funky? This man claims that Nelson and Corey are so cool with all these other people, and yet the one move Faisal made tonight, and the move he made to take KC from Leroy, understand, Faisal fired a shot in the sky, and he turned on 3 black men and 1 black woman in the same episode. Oh, this is just the beginning of the rant, coach. I know y'all missed me. Let's keep it funky. Faisal turned on Leroy, Nelson, Corey, and Darrell. Actually, he turned on 4 black men tonight. And what's so funny to me is Devin ranks Kyle, CT, and Nam. He fucks with Nam more than you, Faisal. So imagine making this deal with Devin. This deal wouldn't even exist if Devin didn't make the movie made 2 weeks ago. It's basically a week ago. I guess if you were to binge this after the fact, it's basically a week ago. But you get what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We had a 2-week break. But at the end of the day, understand, if it wasn't for the great move Devin made to strip Tory from Corey, I'd argue Faisal doesn't make this move because Tory is with Corey still. Because Devin is now with Tory, Faisal decided he no longer needed Corey for shit. So he single-handedly took Nelson out, and his excuse holds no weight. Oh, I see a hall brawl there. It was built for someone like me. I gotta go do it. So the same competition you could have went against Kyle in, when it was nothing but dirt on the ground. Everyone saw you hoe it the fuck out when it came to Kyle. You didn't really want that smoke with a motherfucker your height. Now you got a black man you claim to be cool with, and you don't just go out of your way to beat him. You play dirty to win? On top of the dirty strategic tactics used to face him within? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we breaking it down right now. This is deep. This is personal. This ain't just a game move. Because the way you went about it shows that you legitimately had some animosity towards Nelson for reasons we don't really know. For all I know, Tory could have some beef with Nelson that stems back from seasons ago. And Faysal may have went out of his way in that moment to try to prove himself to Tory. And shout outs to Teresa. Because Teresa was the only woman with the ovaries to say out loud, Faisal don't look that much of a comp threat to me. He looked like someone that's got to fight dirty to win. I was like, thank you. Somebody is finally calling it as they seeing it. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time stumbling upon this channel, understand my claim to fame is breaking down Big Brother. I know Faisal's entire CV and resume. The guy, all logic goes out the window when he's in love with a white woman. We've seen this in BB20. He's turned on his own out of spite for this same very thing before. So what are the odds the minute Tory is no longer Corey's partner, all of a sudden Corey becomes expendable? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe in coincidences. Also, ask yourself this. If Liv and Nicole got injured on the same day, why did production allow Liv to stay another week, which kept Michi from getting a new partner that was as souped up as Natalie or Tory? Keep in mind, I think Michi, maybe he loses that comp to Wes, but if Wes has it reserved in his mind that he doesn't want to be there anymore, he probably loses it to Michi as well. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, production did not give a black man in Michi during an era of post-BLM where they claim to be so pro-black, right? Let's keep recentering it. We remember what they did to D, right? So you mean to tell me a black man in Michi, he has a black woman who's hurt, they show less concern for her injuries than the white dyke chick. Let's keep it real. Hold up. Can I keep it funky with y'all tonight? Nicole, they care about her injuries. Oh, she needs to see a medical personnel immediately. When it comes to Liv, throw some dirt on it. You'll be all right. Sleep on it. Then all of a sudden, yeah, you can't compete. You're physically unable to compete. You got to go. You're on the pup list. Just long enough for Devin to put his plans in motion to gain Tory, which put Faysal on the same trajectory to do this tonight. So understand, one slow but sneaky move from production to make sure Michi doesn't have the same opportunity to pick a great partner that Devin got to, it ensured CT's side would gain control of the late game. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it 100. Everything I said right there, bookend that, is true. They didn't give Michi the same opportunity to do the same thing they just gave Devin the opportunity to. And this is the difference between a production pet having freedom of choice and someone who's a rookie that has no choice. Understand, tonight, we just had 3 straight men's eliminations because we had 2 women get medevaced. Michi has absolutely no say in who his partner is. Even Leroy got to choose his replacement before Michi could. When in reality, Michi shouldn't have had Liv as a partner for 2 weeks. So Leroy, in theory, it's Leroy is the one who should right now have Amber M. And I'm not hating on Leroy. I'm just saying they did what they did to screw over one black man or the other. No matter what, someone black was getting screwed over. I'm trying to get y'all to see Viacom is full of crap by trying to convince people Big T is some spokesperson for Black Lives. And did you see the segment tonight with Big T? Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to open it up with her, but we got to keep it funky tonight. Devin, the guy who a few weeks ago was perfectly fine with Kyle breaking Joseph's arm, who was Big T's partner, by the way, all of a sudden, he cares so much about Big T's background, how she grew up, how she became who she was. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep into context. Devin don't fuck with black people like that. On top of that, The only reason why he's so nice to Big T and even is acting like he cares about her story is because number one, Big T is being pushed as a new vet pet. Devin is being pushed as a new vet pet. They have something in common. So because production wants him to give her the push, he gave her the push. But then right after that, he shitted on Amber, who is Big T's friend. But here's the thing. If Liv and Amber fought over Miji, and if Liv was on the precipice of getting medevaced, how is Big T this good friend to Liv if she's spending more time with Amber? Oh, see, we just connected more dots. Now Big T look full of shit. Because if you saw the video on my Patreon from a day ago, you know Big T also tried to instigate a fight between Michi and those two women. It was a love triangle. Now all of a sudden, she kicking it more with Amber post-injury than Liv? Are y'all kidding me? Then Devin has no problem with Big T, but he has all of these problems with Amber. But they're two peas in a pod. He probably don't like Big T either, but he got to tolerate her because that's CT's partner. You see how that works? See, I'm trying to get y'all to see that production pets are almost told they have to align with each other. They can't target each other, or else they're not going to keep their little perks and privileges. In this one episode, we saw several indicators of this being the truth. This is 100% factual. If you haven't seen the episode yet, if you're on West Coast time or something, keep in mind everything I'm saying right here, because you're going to see these scenes and you're going to go, he's right. Devin all of a sudden is so super pro Big T. Like, so you can shit on Nicole, who was your partner, who you acted like you was cool with. Nicole also has a past of not being that nice to black people as well in real world. Shout outs to Whitney for putting me on game with that in the Patreon chat. But at the end of the day, do you see the history of how there are so many people who have histories of not being that nice towards black people, and yet we have Wes crying because Leroy didn't put his game at risk for him? You see what I'm saying? I think Wes got spoiled by Swaley putting their games on the line for him, so now he expects other black people to do the same thing. He expected Corey and Nelson this season to do the same thing. He pretty much ruined their games by not pivoting with him. Then all of a sudden, a week later, Faysal decides to turn on both of them and work with Devin? You mean to tell me, Faysal, you have a Big Brother alliance that is moving strong. Y'all got at least 10 numbers. Y'all got like 5 teams. Let's keep it 100, y'all. Do the numbers. Look at the numbers. Casey's with Leroy. Okay? Josh is with Nani. Nam is with Lolo. Amber B is with Darrell. Right? You got Cam now with Kyle, but she was with Josh. So you got all these people who are together. Faisal was willing to say, he was willing to nuke the Big Brother alliance just to have a gold skull, just to impress Tory in a hall brawl. And keep in mind, Faisal is probably aware of the fact that Tory prefers black men. You don't think Faisal wanted to make it a point of emphasis that he could dominate a black man physically in front of a woman who lusts for them? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm breaking this down too well. Let me pour some water. Oh, shit. Listen, they gonna come for me. They're gonna be like, damn it, we liked it when this motherfucker was behind a paywall. He didn't come through and shut the game down again. He's not a fluke. All these other people are trying to be this guy because they see who the truth is. Ladies and gentlemen, really heed what I'm saying here. Faisal legitimately nuked his Young Bucks alliance, put his entire Big Brother alliance in harm's way. Anissa is now mad at him for the move itself. He leaves Anissa, goes with KC. Now Michi is with his side piece, Amber M. Ladies and gentlemen, Faisal did a whole bunch of shit he didn't have to do. And Josh is pissed because Josh wanted a layup. Let's keep it funky. Josh's beef with Faisal that's going to trickle down to next week all centers around the fact that Josh wanted a layup to get a gold skull because he wanted to make it to the finale. That's what it's all about. That's why he wanted to pick on Jay, because you know Josh. He knows business, but he knows to mind his business when there's an alpha male nearby. He won't choose that fight. He chooses his fights very well. He knows who we can fuck with and who we can't. Swaggy's probably the last motherfucker he'll try that he shouldn't have. And I think he's learned. I think he's learned his lesson, coach. Okay? So, understand, this is a guy who wanted to beef with Devin. Devin's like, what's 9 times 8, huh? What's 9 times 8? And I'm thinking, what the hell is Devin talking about? Like, I'm like, what is he doing? What the hell does 72 have to do with these motherfuckers beefing with each other? I didn't get it, coach, right? I didn't get it. All right? No one gets it. But at the end of the day, you mean to tell me, okay, you beefing with Devin, but then Devin beats Wes, and then he wins the next team comp. He wins 2 straight comps in a row. Now all of a sudden, Josh is like, man, I don't even want to smoke with Devin. You know, who's the next smallest motherfucker? Jay. You know what, Jay? Fuck our CBS alliance from a season ago. You ain't shit, and you kind of close to Devin as well. So I'm gonna come up with a reason to be mad. It's like, come on, Josh. You feeling dig me? And see what Faysal's gonna say next week about you is true. You're always scared, and the fact that you tried to pick on Jay was just proof that you're always scared. You're always scared. You legitimately tried to create problems with Jay, even though he was linked at the hip with KC. CT disrespected KC to your face. Well, not your face, but KC ran to you and told you he disrespected you. Then when you tried to step to CT, you was extra nice with tons of manners. You didn't show Jay that type of manners. Those type of manners. Jay is actually showing respect to KC. You still want the smoke from him. So it shows your allegiance to KC does not determine who you beef with. It has everything to do with your beta male tendencies and you being scared to challenge someone that's your size. I mean, you heard Josh. Oh, a hall brawl. That'd be pretty good for me. Oh, because you're a tall, bigger guy. And that's why you wanted Jay to go up against in a hall brawl. But even Faysal said it in a confessional. He said, I think I did Josh a solid. I don't think he beats Nelson in no fucking hall brawl. I did him a favor. And I think I'm more likely to agree with that perspective than anything else. But that doesn't mean what Faysal did wasn't some sucker shit, regardless. See, ladies and gentlemen, I can call it down the middle. Even if I may fuck with one person more than the other, I can still admit what Faysal did tonight was crazy. It was crazy. Now, from a good TV perspective, hey, it's good TV. It was a better episode than the previous 2. The first episode and the 4th one are way better than the 2nd and 3rd. We can all come to that accord, can't we? But man, oh man, oh man, production is definitely trying their best right now to trying to rig the late game to go a certain way. I mean, you could just feel it. And now that Devin is with Tory, I'd argue Devin picking her shook the entire game up. Because it took, like I've already said, it took away Faysal's need to stay loyal to the Young Bucks. It made Faysal have to make a decision. Because Devin ain't really the closest to those guys either. Now here's the thing. Tory clearly told Devin that she wanted Corey, Anissa, Faysal, and Leroy to stay safe. So Devin goes out of his way to not fuck over any of those 4. But how would he have known that the move Faysal would make would end up inadvertently fucking over Leroy, fucking over Corey, right? And fucking over Anissa. When you really look at this, Devin pulled off a masterclass here because he convinced Faysal to fuck over the other 3 people that Tory holds at a high regard besides him. Think about that. And actually, maybe Faysal was okay with that. Because he doesn't want Tory closer to those other 3 people. Think about it. Faysal turning on Anissa in this moment also forces Tory to choose him or Anissa in the future. She can't choose both at the same time. Faysal was low-key, slowly but surely, politicking in a way to try to make him the only one Tory can rely on later down the road. The problem is, Faysal, yeah, people may fear going down there to take that skull off you, but in the final, you might need some help on something. You might cross paths with someone who could know a puzzle that you don't understand that can make it more simple for you. This move right here could lead to someone sending your ass completely off, giving you the wrong directions, and then you're even worse off than you would have been if you would have just read the directions your damn self. And that's what you always have to be mindful of, ladies and gentlemen, making a move too soon. I'd argue in week 1, Faysal and Anissa attempted to make a move too soon by going for CT. Now, this time around, we have Faysal, who hurt his social game initially terribly by revealing what double agents knew the first 2 times he won it. Then Leroy and KC win it. They keep the secret their time, but at that point, the cat's already out the bag, so them keeping the secret has no impact, right? Now, Faysal's excuse in the article I read yesterday, he said the reason why he did it because he didn't want anyone to have the power of the secret moving forward. But as I've always been telling y'all, that was Faysal's biggest fatal flaw. That's some good alliteration for you, Faysal's fatal flaw. It's the fact that at the end of the day, he doesn't trust enough people outside of the women he's attracted to and the men he thinks he's socially um, more aligned with. But at the end of the day, you got to rely on people to make it to the end at a certain point. I think Faisal believes he can do this all on his own. And when you talk about the fatal flaw, I just don't understand Faisal's game. You tell people the secret, Leroy becomes the next winner, and that tells me in a nutshell that you didn't trust Leroy that much because you ended up screwing over Leroy a week after that. Well, yeah, it was a week after the fact that a week after Leroy and Casey became the double agent, you basically took Leroy's partner. So you're showing us you didn't trust Leroy that much that week, even though he did everything in his power to get out west, which is what Faisal won in week 1. So Leroy did everything in his power to prove loyalty to Faisal and his loyalty to the Big Brother hybrid alliance, and yet Faisal did everything he could to say fuck Leroy. So in my opinion, Leroy has all the reasons in the world in the future to want revenge, which is why this rant is all about revenge. Play with revenge. There's a lot of people right now who deserve revenge. Corey, oh, he's going to want the smoke, coach. Now you got Corey, Leroy, and Darrell after you. I mean, any other season, this is a nightmare, but I guess because he thinks he's super Faisal. He thinks because he's super Faisal, he can take these 3 down. Coach, it's not going to be that simple. You still got CT to deal with. You still got Kyle who has beef with you for throwing him in versus Joseph. Faisal, read the room. You have damn near no allies besides Tory now. Tory, Kate, and Casey. That basically is his entire support system. Anissa don't even rock with you no more. Was it worth it? I think you get your gold skull at some point regardless, man. That's what I think. I think the majority of people probably agree with me. But the way this all just went down, like the sneaky element of it, look, it was good TV. I didn't see it coming, right? I thought, keep it all the way funky with y'all. What I thought was going to happen was I didn't think it was going to be Nelson and Amber. I thought it was going to be Jay and Teresa. I thought Josh was facing Jay in a hall brawl. So I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be a little bit of a snooze fest. But the way the direction this episode went down, I think kind of made it a little bit more interesting. Because now Faisal is someone no one really wants to fuck with, but he has every target pointed at him. This is going to benefit CT's game immensely because the game started off with everyone handing power to Faisal. Remember? So this is a direct example of someone becoming greedy with the power that was given. And now it opens up a power vacuum for CT to commandeer all of Faisal's once owned Infinity Stones. Am I the only one seeing how this looks from a far view? That's why I chose the thumbnail I chose with CT looking through the VR goggles. Because CT is watching all this from afar and it's super lit. It's super lit. It's peak. You feel it, dig me? CT knows Faisal just made a move tonight that's going to ensure CT now can rally the troops. Faisal, your move should have been keeping the eyes of everyone on CT. I think Leroy was even down with that. Now Leroy probably look at you as a bigger op than CT. This is a huge role reversal. And at the end of the day, Faisal, Tory gonna have to find that gold skull at some way down the line by hook or crook. And if people know you are willing to go through all this, and Gabby, I gotta talk about Gabby. She's flirting with this guy. You're not gonna be in my bed anytime soon. Gabby, you mean to tell me you were too tone deaf to see that Faisal did all of this shit, not because he got a new boo and he trying to impress you, but because Tory was in the cut and he was horny. Yeah, I rhymed on purpose that time. I dragged it out. But you get what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it funky in these streets, man. He didn't do all this because he wanted to stick around you longer, Gabby. He probably thinks you're on borrowed time. And I'm willing to bet you he's using reverse psychology by flirting with Gabby after making his feelings known with Tory already. And if you notice, the production team is going out of their way to keep it kind of low. Even Devin, he said to her, he said, I know Anissa and Faisal's off limits. He could have easily just said, I know Anissa's off limits. He said Anissa and Faisal. That was Devin's way of admitting you have a showmance that isn't one. And since Devin is a production pet, he knows how to talk real subtle to where the cameraman is still happy because he's telling what needs to be said, but he's saying it in a way that makes him look like a clear mastermind. And honestly, if I'm being funky with you, it feels like Wes, I don't know what Wes did. It feels like he left his chakra with Devin. Am I the only one noticing this? It felt like as soon as Wes left the game, Devin he just absorbed all his powers, coach. I can't explain it. Like, this felt like a Wes episode, but it was Devin doing it. So I got to give Devin his props, man. Absolutely. I can't hate on the guy. I actually had a power rankings in mind before I watched this episode. Then as I watch it, I don't know if I can consider it. Well, actually, Faysal and Anissa is no longer a team. Hold up. So it's Faysal and KC. All right. Now it's actually Leroy and Anissa. Damn, I feel so bad for Leroy, man. Now, granted, Leroy, Darrell, Nelson, and Corey have all admitted that they had a pro-black alliance. I think Faisal may have felt a little jealous that he wasn't included in that pro-black alliance. But here's the thing, Faisal. You don't even like black women like that. I don't. So at the end of the day, look, I'm never going to be mad at someone for making a strategic pivoting prowess move. But the way he went about it was just some sucker shit. If we see this move from a Josh, we go, oh, that's expected. He's a beta. But when you see it from Faisal, who claims to be so upfront, who claims to be not about all of the politics, for him to resort to this, and for him to wait for the moment that Tory has some power to do it, I mean, everything about it, it just leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth, you know? Just a bad taste in your mouth. You know, I feel like if Haley was on a season like this, he wouldn't be this stupid. He'd still be stupid, but he wouldn't be this stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts on that. But yeah, if I had to give you all a quick little top 5 power ranking after the episode we just watched, whoo. Hold on, let me look at the new teams that were formed. Okay, Nelson's gone. So now this is Michi and Amber M, and Liv is also gone. So now it's only 12 teams left, ladies and gentlemen. So if I had to give you all my top 5 right now, I am, yep, this is my, hold up. They ain't in the top 5 no more. I'm sorry, Leroy. Anissa she dragged you back down a little. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still think he's top 5 though, because of Cam's connections with Kyle. I think he's still going to be safeguarded to a degree. But here's my top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, the 5th best team heading into next week's episode, Devin and Tory. I think they made up a lot of ground in the last 2 episodes, and they deserve to be where they are. Oh, my fault. It's Leroy and Anissa at 5. My fault. Number 4 is Devin and Tory. Leroy was actually in 3rd place with KC. He drops. No, he was in 2nd place with KC, but he drops now that he is no longer with KC. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. 3rd place now goes to CT and Big T. Do you see the edit they are getting? Are you guys noticing how Big T is now getting the same pan shots that I used to expose CT getting all the time, where there'd be a secretive conversation over here in the cut? And then they would show this shot of CT behind some bushes. He might not even really be there to eavesdrop. It might be a cameraman that told him about the conversation, but they have to substantiate him knowing the information by showing some random shot of him behind some trees. Now Big T is getting that same type of an edit, where if a conversation's happening, they'll just find some shot of Big T looking at something, and they make it seem like she's privy to everything. That lets me know Big T's going to stick around for a while, and that's why her and CT are in 3rd place. 2nd place, Faisal and KC. Quite frankly, they could easily be 1st place from a power ranking standpoint, but I think KC's game this season has been quite lackluster. The 1st place team, in my opinion, are the most well-rounded team, strategically, physically. No one really wants to see them in either lane, and it's Kyle and Cam. I think you all can agree with that. Kyle and Cam, so far, are the team to beat, in my opinion. I think they balance each other off really well. I mean, when they were going to the club, how Kyle said, "Hey, I'm with the finest woman in the world right now," and she's like, "Oh, thank you." Like they were playing off each other well. It was pretty funny. And it wasn't some shit like Bailey was on with him at the club. But I ain't gonna get into that 35 shit. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say though, this episode brought me back to liking this season again. The past couple of episodes, I was like, whoa, what is going on? The gameplay is super predictable. People aren't really taking shots. People are being quite conservative with their double agent play as well. But now in this moment, to see Tory and Devin not risk the biscuit, for them to realize this has to be a men's elimination based off two women being medevaced, that was smart. And Nelson, I hate to say it, buddy, but you kind of created your own demise by reminding everyone at the meeting it had to be a men's elimination. Now, maybe in Nelson's mind, he thinks if he says that, they don't throw him in with Amber, because then Amber won't be the one competing, so no one will want to see him. But let's be real, he would have never foresaw that someone like Faysal would want to see him that badly. But nevertheless, I think him saying that out loud, I think it may have sped up the process of Faysal's figuring it out. And once Faysal figured it out, I think he decided, hey, if it's a hall brawl, pick me. If not, you can pick Josh. I don't know if it's that simple, but it seems as if that's the story we're being told, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone connected to CT will get a good edit. I'm Ironhide. I know I ain't the only one seeing this, right? Like, bruh. Like, Devin go to CT, right? And he's like, hey, man, I know I got to play with revenge, but right now I got to check my ego because I got to put some things in motion. I want revenge on a group of people, right? But and the people I want revenge on the most, the people who did me wrong, I want to get them out first, but I want to get the big brother people out second. And he understood how the numbers were shaking out. Now, in his mind, Josh had to go. Amber had to go. Now, Nelson ended up having to go because it wasn't a women's elimination. This forces Amber to now work with Michi. In theory, Amber has a worse partner now because Michi is basically Nelson from a few years ago, kind of, sort of. But Michi is more entertaining, though. If they show more of what's going on with him, he's more entertaining. You know, I would have liked to see the love triangle between Liv, Michi, and Amber, especially now that Liv got medevaced. Give her some type of a storyline. Legitimately, the only storyline Liv got this entire season was she helped Big T do some bogus shit towards Joseph. That's literally her entire storyline her first season. Me and another black woman got a black man to get out the game. So this black woman could have a white dude take her to the end. Meanwhile, Liv is happy with a black guy, and she let that shit ride. Then Big T instigates what's going on to cause more discontent, trying to create good TV. They don't even make it on TV. And Big T gets an immaculate edit after the fact. And now they're making it seem as if this chick is everywhere. You know, oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, he's getting dirty. I like it. Like, since when does Big T become this person who has done everything? Like, she's become the Dos Equis man. Like real talk, she's become the Dos Equis girl. It's like every time someone does something, she approves of it, but if she hasn't done it yet, who cares about her approval? Like, what is going on? Like, they're trying so hard to make her the British Devon, but I'm telling y'all, Viacom, I'm telling y'all, MTV, it's not coming off as anything but cringy to people who know what's up. You know, when she's asked how the Big T nickname started, when she comes up with this long story about coming up in Africa and being poor, and she never mentions once growing up in UK in the posh area of London with a Chelsea accent and being rich with a white dad, she doesn't mention any of that. Or maybe it didn't make the edit because it wouldn't fall in line with her Black Lives Matter platform. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm putting y'all in game. They know if they reveal her father might be white, that she grew up rich, black women won't relate to her. So they're hiding that part of it. Also, did you know the Big T nickname, from doing my own research, it came from the fact that her family clowned her for having small breasts. So it's actually Big TT, Big Titty. They shortened it because her name is Tula, Big T. But somehow, when she's talking to Devin, and there's two production pets trying to lift the other one up, trying to put over another talent, all of a sudden it becomes, oh, my sister, she gave me something, and then my father passed away. Look, I'm not making light of her father passing away, but it seems a bit weird that as soon as her dad died, all of a sudden she's rich. What was that about? But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, the excuse she gave for why her nickname is Big T isn't the same excuse that many people have said is true. So it's clear to me she is hiding her real self because she doesn't want to be judged by black people while they're pushing her as this black icon. You see that? I'm just trying to let y'all behind the fourth wall here. Because if y'all understand how production thinks, then you understand how they can never con you with the way that they think, right? That's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Understand, by Devin choosing Nam as one of his protected people, this once again confirms a previous rant of mine where I mentioned Nam was clearly working with the rookies more than he was working with Big Brother, which I thought may have been a bad move for Nam long term because you got Lolo all over you. Now, maybe he's just tired of this chick being all over him. But at the end of the day, he should see where the numbers lie. Wes just got eliminated. Wes was one of the biggest numbers, linking him with Kyle and Devin. Nam is still loyal to Kyle and Devin for some reason. Granted, that could be because they sleep in the same bedroom. But at the end of the day, Coach, I personally believe Nam should be able to read the room, and he should realize that his game lasts longer by working with Big Brother. But after the move Faysal made tonight, I guess you can argue Nam was warranted in not working with Big Brother or not trusting them as much, because now I'd argue Nam and Faysal are on the same side. They're with Devin. They're with CT. They're with Kyle. Now, maybe Faysal in his mind isn't with Kyle. Maybe he isn't. But at the end of the day, what he did tonight was sell his soul to be on Kyle's side, whichever way he wants to receive that or absorb that or take that in. That's what he did tonight. There's no way, ain't no way around it. But let me stop before they try to copyright the kid. You feel it, dig me, Coach? They be thirsty, boy. Your voice sounded too much like his. So I'd be like, boy, calm down, boy. But yeah, so those are the few things I thought about, ladies and gentlemen. But I would love to hear your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm ready to answer some questions. Y'all give me y'all thoughts on tonight's episode. Was this an upgrade over the previous two? I'm all ears, man. Anything y'all want to talk about strategically, socially within the game, I'm here for. But like I said, this was done for the culture because I feel like the culture needed this. So this video is going to stay public, by the way. I'm not going to move it to Patreon after the fact. It's going to stay here, all right? So y'all going to have something to come back to if you didn't get to catch this live. I know how it be. You might be busy. You might work nights. Wig T, not the voice for black people. Production needs to know this. The King, I couldn't agree with you more, but the problem is they think that's what we want to see. That's what they think. And this is why I tried to tell y'all Big T is, she's on that line, okay, of minstrel comedy. She teeters on that line all the time. And I'm not trying to just pigeonhole her into one lane, but I need to see her actually be originally funny. I need to see a reaction that doesn't feel forced. That's all I'm asking for. You know, I need to see her show that she's a legit friend to the people she claims to care about. You know, but that's my thoughts. Yeah, he's probably smarter than Faisal. Honestly, the duel was the first CT season where his personality came out because of the DM thing. Oh yeah, I remember that. Who do you think will win now? Well, based off of my power rankings, Coach, I got to be honest with you. I think the three men in the best position to win the game are Kyle, Faisal, and CT. I think the three women in the best position to win the game right now are Cam, KC, and Big T. That's just based off of the three couples that are at the top. I think it's only right that I rank them that way. And a lot of that is based off the fact that all three of these groups seem to be working with each other. Cam was originally with Josh, so she's close to KC somewhat. Now, KC didn't trust Leroy that much when they were in a tribunal. And Faisal may be a reason for that. You know what? Now that I think about it, Casey's unwillingness to really discuss game with Leroy 2 weeks ago should have been the dead giveaway that Faisal don't fuck with none of these black men. But it seemed like all of these black men deferred to Faisal in the first couple of episodes. So, were they legit just trying to do a people of color alliance and include Faisal in it because he was with Anissa, a black woman? Did Faisal only take that for as long as it was because he could benefit from it? You know, I got a lot of questions now because, yeah, in theory, if Faisal trusted Leroy at all, KC would have talked more game with him. Cam would have talked more with Josh. But as you could see, Cam is closer to Kyle than she'll ever be with Josh. Josh and KC, at the end of the day, they did what they did to get in good with the people they thought would run the game politically. Even though they already had Big Brother numbers. It was strategically very savvy. But now that they no longer have KC is still in a good position, but I argue Josh is fucked right now. And it's actually in Casey's best interest to not try to reach back for him and help him. Because right now, Josh is fucked. Okay? Josh is still with Nani. But at the end of the day, Casey is with Faysal. When Josh starts the fight with Faysal, it forces Casey to choose a side. Josh already tried to force Casey to choose a side with Jay. She got to realize Josh is being out of pocket here. And he's hurting her game more than he's helping it. That's some more facts for you. I'm rooting for Kyle and Cam. Actually, Iron High, I got to keep it funky. This is the first season in my challenged life I can admit I'm rooting for Kyle as well. Now, maybe it's the edit. Maybe they giving him a better looking edit, and maybe I'm not seeing it. But I honestly feel like in this is the first time I've really seen Kyle as an underdog. I feel like he's kind of always been on the side of the numbers. This is the first time where he's had to legit like finesse. Like Devin, he's also been on the bottom several times. A few times he's been in pole position, like the time he was partnered with Corey and they got sent to the Shadow Realm. But for the most part, Coach, Devin has also played from the bottom before in the past, and that's why I was a fan of his game. I just wasn't that much a fan of some of the things I've heard about him away from the game, and the fact that he completely bent the knee to get back on the game. You know, whenever you do something like that, I am going to be very wary of what you're willing to do to sell your soul in a similar fashion. For all we know, he taught Faisal how to sell his soul, Coach. That's what it looked like to me. He's like, oh, you want Tory that bad? All right, bro, you got to do what I want, because that's my partner. You know what I'm saying? So... And at the end of the day, they were the double agents. So Faysal didn't have the opportunity to choose Tory because she was immune, right? So, yeah. That's pretty crazy to me, man. But see, that's why, in my opinion, if Faysal cared so much about Tory, or if he wanted her that bad, he should have waited. That way the next time, when he did eventually turn on Anissa, he could turn on her and still choose her friend and Tory, and Anissa could be more happy about that. But him just straight up choosing KC, I mean, that was a move that fucked up so many things that Anissa and Leroy and Cam had going for them, and the black people in general had going for them, that some of them might not be able to recover from this, and they have Faysal to blame, you know? And that's just the facts. What is Miss Mary Sims asked the question? Jay Griff said Josh is just a coaster. Nothing new there. You're right about that, Coach. But he had a problem with Jay because Jay's a floater this season. So once again, it just goes to show when he does it, oh, it's my business. When someone else does it, hey, that's not fair. Miss Mary Sims says, what is Josh's problem with Jay? And you think Josh really wanted to go in, or was he selling wolf tickets? Miss Mary, I believe he absolutely wanted to face Jay. I think he looked at Jay as someone who may have beaten CT, but he beat CT in a fluky fashion a season ago, even though he still deserves the credit because CT still made the decisions he made and lost. But with that said, Coach, in Josh's view, he wants to be on TV as long as possible. He forces fake fights to be on TV. He does these things to be brought back because he generates more, I wouldn't say necessarily interest, but what do they call it? Expression. He generates clicks, for better or worse. People either tune in because they hate him, or they tune in because they think he needs to be defended. Either way, he's a polarizing figure, and he has to continually play towards this caricature of himself in order to keep getting brought back. And I think he knows that the pressure is on because it's been a while since Josh has made a final on the challenge. I might be wrong, but has he made a challenge final? I don't think he made a final. Please comment below and give me your thoughts. Josh has never made a final, has he? For a guy who talks such a big game, the only final he ever made was on Big Brother. I don't think he's ever made a final. But yeah, I just think Josh, man, look, he's a coward, man. He saw Jay as the smallest guy left, and he knew whoever faced Jay would have a good chance of beating him, and he know his chance of beating anyone else besides Jay, he ain't gonna beat Darrell, he ain't gonna beat Leroy, he ain't gonna beat Corey. He was already scared of Nelson. I don't think he wanted that smoke with Leo Rush. That's a wrestler. So that's someone who might be smaller than you that could still whoop your ass. Michi, we saw Michi beat Corey 1v1 an episode ago when they was rumbling on top of that truck. Remember? So it just goes to show you, he viewed Jay as the softest amongst all the other men. Even amongst the rookies, he viewed Jay as the weakest. He was willing to throw away that CBS alliance just to spite Jay. And now it makes sense why he didn't want to work with Natalie in the game as well. I think there's a beef between Big Brother and Survivor for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but I think there's a beef. I think there is one. I don't know why people are shocked with him throwing black people under the bus. He did it to Swaley in real life. He was only with them because, you have a point there, Jay Griff. He did. The minute things got a little bit too sticky, he made it seem like he wasn't in on it. He made it seem like he didn't really want to get down with the get down. And of course, we're not going to bring up what you're talking about. But just know, ladies and gentlemen, there is a clear history of Faysal being quick to abandon black people. He does it all the time. And then he picks a new white girl to wife. It's really weird. And it's the type of behavior I'm waiting for black people to start canceling the motherfucker for. Because I never was this big Faysal fan. That's why I always called him Faysal. I never even really subscribed to the Fessy phenomenon. That wasn't really my thing, because I felt like it's a little moist for a grown man to call another grown man Fessy. I don't know. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Bigger guys should want Jay in a physical elimination. Rogan handled him pretty well on Total Madness. That is true as well, Whitney. Josh has never been in the final before. Thank you, Jay Griff. I had that feeling. Yes, Larry Nance. Fessy is I gotta keep it funky with you in these streets. What he did tonight was some sucker stuff. You know, you got Nelson this episode. Man, I would love to be in the final with my boys, the Young Bucks. Remember at the beginning of the season? They were so happy that they had Joseph, Leo Rush, and Michi calling out CT. We got some new Young Bucks. And then literally 3 episodes later, Faisal, the guy who was so after CT, he was so after Wes, he literally turns on Corey and Nelson 1 week after they chose not to work with Wes. And his excuse was, y'all got ties to too many people I ain't cool with. They just agreed to get out West, which was a move that was one step removed from what you wanted, my G. And now all of a sudden you can't trust them. That's projection, ladies and gentlemen. That's him having too many ties, feeling a bit guilty about having too many ties, and trying to act like the people around them, because he knows they're warranted in being suspicious of him, so he chooses to fire the first shot, and then he comes up with an excuse that he acts like is justifiable, but really isn't substantiated with any proof, and he does it all just for Princess Peach. This motherfucker's in his own Super Mario game. Super Faysal. Bring! You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, you could have swore he was off of a mushroom during that comp. Motherfuckers just, I'm gonna take your damn visor off your helmet and throw it somewhere so I can eye poke you. I'm like, what is going on here, coach? This is how y'all get down in D1 football? You know what I'm saying? See, I always knew at the bottom of them scrums when fumbles happen, there was dudes grabbing nuts and stuff. And you know, a lot of them players, they don't like that type of extra padding. They like to be quicker. Imagine them at the bottom of them scrums. They losing testicles. They losing toes. They losing fingers. They losing eyeballs. They losing teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like Fessy, Faisal, what are you doing, bruh? He legit tried to change the way Nelson looked, bro. He tried to get this man a sex change during a hall brawl. Bang. You feel dig me? Like, what is my guy doing, man? This is your homie, man. This man said, you know what, man? There's no time limit, right, TJ? All right, I'm going to sit on this dude for like 10 minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to sit on him. Hey, what? And then for TJ to allow the dirty shit, but in round 2, no more dirty stuff, Faisal. Oh, okay. So he can get the advantage in the comp off that, but he can't do it no more. He already fucked the dude up. The dude can't see. He got COVID-20 and shit. He done fucked Nelson all up, bruh. Nelson on the bird box side of the game trying to do hall brawl. He's like, I'm just going to run forward, and as soon as I feel something, I'm a duck. Like, Nelson can't see shit. They did Nelson grimy. And see, this the second season of Rope Production did Nelson grimy, boy. Nelson, I think they jealous about the fact that you went on Dr. Phil and you got a check from someone other than them. I'm just saying. You was one step removed from the Oprah Winfrey show, my G. They was threatened by you, all right? That's all I'm going to say, man. That's crazy, man. And remember, this is one episode, one season removed from Nelson falling on his sword for his friend. So for you to betray Nelson this way, after seeing what he did for Corey a season ago, it looks even worse. It looks even worse. It's like, I'm not going to give you the chance to fall on your sword for me, man. Fuck you. You're black. I like white women. I'm Faysal. I ain't never won shit, but shit. These white chicks choosing. And that's what it is. Like, that would legitimately be his paid programming commercial on at 2:30 in the a.m. on a Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he doing? It's crazy to me, man. So, Faisal, if you don't win this season, oh, man, you ain't... that means you legitimately did all of this just to have the same egg on your damn face. Just to have the same damn egg on your face. It's crazy to me, man. Crazy. Man, I can't make this up, man. It's wild to me, yo. I mean, he tried to give him COVID-20, Basha. Can we keep it funky? Come on, nah. At least Rogan owned being a villain and didn't cower on social media or when people called him out. That's true too, Jay Griff. Hey, Rogan had a personal problem with Jay. It was over D, who he wasn't really choosing on at the time, but it's about the principle. Shout outs to Fabulous. Shout outs to Jadakiss. It's about the principalities. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm really giving y'all them good A1. I'm giving y'all them A1 quotes right now. But yeah, at the end of the day, coach, it's like, come on, bruh. I would have been screaming on production for allowing that dirty stuff by Faisal. I agree, Whitney. But see, this shows you Faisal sold his soul this episode. He sold it. Because if he was not a production pet in their eyes, they would have turboed his ass. Let's keep it funky. I'm not here to lie to y'all tonight. I'm here to tell the truth. They would have turboed his ass. Alright? It would have been Turbo Mario going after Princess Peach then. You know what I'm saying? Come on, coach. Can we keep it funky in these streets? And let's be real. They like the fact that Tory has some protection. They can't allow Jordan on the season anytime soon. They treat him like the real Michael Jordan. Take a few seasons off. Go play some golf. Maybe some baseball. Double A. Space Jam. That's how they treating Jordan. He on the Scary Movie 2 side of the game trying to cut the cake, but at the end of the day, let's keep it funky in these streets. They are hiding the real story with him because they were hoping him and Tory would last, and they were hoping they could help Tory win a season while he was gone so they could keep their couple at the top while he was away. But then Tory decided to be on some Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift type shit. I'm just kidding. You feel dig me? Where Bow Wow at? You know what I'm saying? She was on the Han side of the game. She was giving them Wonder Women sugar walls out. I'm just keeping it funky, bruh. She was out here willing to give up all her powers to get her man back. You feel dig me? Just to cheat on him. She ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. This is crazy, bro. Those MTV checks are lucrative. They are, though. He was looking like Night at the Roxbury in the club. I don't know who y'all frying. Y'all frying Josh? Who y'all talking about? I definitely thought y'all was talking about Josh when y'all said that. That is Faisal's MO. He lives with egg on his face. You might have a point there. Hey, I'm Faisal. I do dumb stuff, and I love white women. That's literally his damn. Remember the Jamie Foxx show? Remember how he had to create the Jingle 3000? He was at that new company. That's Faisal's jingle, boy. That's his jingle. Let's keep it all the way funky, and he always single to mingle. You feel it, dig me? Come on, man. This dude look like a damn fool out here in these streets, boy. Remember when Cyrus almost put hands on TJ? MTV don't want this situation. You got a point with. Miss Mary says, Dave, only Devin and Tory were the only team that could work the drones. I call bullshit. Ain't that funny? During the team comp, the only person who can get past the first part is them. And then all of a sudden, and remember, CT said, oh, I love video games. He couldn't do shit. All of a sudden, Tory, we're supposed to believe this chick is just good as hell at the Nintendo Wii. Man, get the fuck. All of a sudden, this chick got a PlayStation 5 VR headset in the cut. Come on, coach. If you don't get your big, oh, Tory love the Oculus Rift with Jordan. Shut your dumb ass up, boy. I worked in Best Buy. Stop the lies, man. Okay. They too busy making country western songs talking about love is blind or whatever they was talking about. What did they say? I don't know. Who cares? No one watched it. No one listened. But you get what I'm... He is on the Scary Movie 2 side of the game, Cohen. That's why the joke hits. It's hitting. All right? He trying to cut the cake. Y'all caught it. Wayans brothers, man. Y'all some legends, man. I rock with the entire family, man. How you have a whole family of people who could make you laugh? That lets you know the uncles, the aunties, the grandfathers was funnier than them. That's what it lets you know. They learned that from somewhere, coach. Them family reunions was turned. You just doing a celebrity roast, but it's the fam, though. It's like, damn. But yeah, man, it's wild. Oh, Faysal was looking like Night at the Roxbury. Okay, I see what y'all was saying. Yeah. Well, you get it. He on the co-ed confidential side of the game. You know what I'm saying? He trying to see if Tory bout that action. You know what I'm saying? On the Lil Reese side of the game. You know what I'm saying? TJ had to be saved by Timmy. Yeah, I really miss old challenge days with the real world and on before. I agree with you to an extent, Miss Vonnie. Now, at the end of the day, I do like how the pipelines are coming from a lot of different places. It keeps the game more fresh. But I also believe they shouldn't have closed off the pipelines of real world. And I think at a certain point, MTV should have just bought College Hill. Hey, MTV, here's a great idea. Viacom owns MTV, VH1, all this stuff. Why don't y'all bring back College Hill and use College Hill as a pipeline similar to Real World? Then you'll be able to really have a lot more black talent to choose from, right? I think that's ingenious because you know the black people being picked by CBS ain't gonna be of the best ilk. I don't care if they pick 50% people of color or not, coach. You gonna have a lot of racially ambiguous shit popping off. Can we keep it funky in these streets? Can we keep it funky? You know what I mean? On everything. A Faisal and Darrell elimination would be interesting. That's true, but we saw Faisal versus CT on that little rumble truck, and we saw them dudes just stare at each other, boy. Hajime. Them boys just staring at each other like, I want to make a move, but I might not become a production pet in a few weeks if I do so. I mean, literally, Faisal, that's what it looked like you was on that truck, coach. Now all of a sudden you with them, mama? Are we keeping it funky in these streets, bruh? And listen, man, I can't believe this move, man. I can't believe this move. This is a crazy ass move, man. This was a turncoat move right here, bruh. Turncoat. Like, this was like a Chaos Kaz type move to me, you know? And we'll see if you have a chance to win the game. Shoutouts to Spencer. Dave, how is your 2021 going so far? You know what? I feel like my 2021 is very similar to all of yours, right? It's quite turbulent. It could be better. But you know what? I'm thankful. You know why? Because all of my loved ones are healthy. The stem came in, spent it, and reinvested in the brand with it to give you all more entertainment as a result of it. And at the end of the day, even though there's a lot of things happening around us that I'm not excited about, I'm excited about the future of the RBR family. Because I believe we look out for each other. I believe we have a very positive environment, and I appreciate that great softball question you gave me, Ghost, because I just knocked it out of the park, coach. You know what I'm saying? It's super lit. I agree, Ricky Bobby. It's too many Brits on the show. I agree with you. Now, I'm starting to become cool with Kyle's presence, so I'm not going to hate on Kyle. I'm glad, Grizzly Bear, I'm glad he took a season off, coach, because he's a little bit repulsive, and I think Michi, he feels that quota while balancing it out, right? But yeah, so that's my thought on that. Faisal don't want smoke with Darrell or Corey. Alex, we know. I mean, that's why I can't wait to see how Corey applies pressure next week. Because he talked to him man to man. You didn't hear Faisal say, you scared every season. He ain't say all that now. He took it on the chin a bit. Because what he need to understand is what you just did. Even though it got to your gold skull, I'm close to Tory. What you just did made it so Tory has one less ally looking out for her because I don't trust you, nigga. And apologies for saying the N-word, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like saying that. But my thing is, Corey would have been saying that to him. That's my point. Corey would have been like, bro, what the heck is wrong with you? Do you not realize if your entire goal here is to get the girl and the cash, that what you did made it a little bit harder to get both at the end? And that's why I wouldn't be shocked if Faisal ends up with the girl but not the cash. I wouldn't be shocked. And I agree with you, Ms. Vonnie. Strong blacks is something Viacom ain't that big of a fan of, Coach. Faisal versus CT on that truck was weak. I mean, wasn't that one of the most anticlimactic fights we've ever seen? I mean, if that was an anime fight, we legitimately would say they used talk no jutsu. Facts. Kyle is hard to look at. Well, at the end of the day, I ain't looking at him that long my damn self. They should start bringing in more rookies from Chance versus Stars like Louise, Casper, and Booby. You know, I need to watch those seasons, man, because I kind of slept on those because I felt like they were like the abridged series. Like, I was like, you know. But I do want to see T.O. G-check CT, though, so I'm going to check it out at some point. See, Heather, you like Kyle now, too, don't you? See, this is a testament to Kyle seeing who the big bad bully was on some Godfrey BB Can type shit, stating he would go after them, and that being fantastic for his game long term. In a way, you could argue Kyle is playing the Godfrey game right now. You could argue that. And that's if you're a fan of Big Brother Canada. I don't want to go say too many references that isn't congruent with the challenge fandom, but I'm just saying it's similar. I'm pretty disappointed in Faysal. His gameplay is not it. I don't know what he's thinking. He should stick with the Young Bucks. I agree with you there, Nagate, but I think the way this season shook out, when there was no Swaley, Faysal looked at this as an opportunity to be out of their shadow. Keep in mind, he's never done reality TV without them. However, they've been popping without him. So this was legitimately his first opportunity to prove Falte was popping as much because of me as them. So in that same token, I think he's on a mission to prove he's a well-rounded threat. He's on a mission to prove he can be strategic, which is why he told people about what the double agents had information privy to. He did that as a strategic move, hoping it would work in good faith in his best interest. But in reality, Kyle was too good of a player to let that work in his best interest. Kyle flipped that and it worked in his best interest. Then Faisal was forced to pivot again. But him pivoting after this fight with Kyle, it looked to be too close to working with Kyle for that fight initially before to make any sense. And this is why I'm telling y'all, I think the guy sold out to production. Because from a strictly storytelling perspective, the edit does not make sense for Faisal to make the movie made tonight, on top of the fact that they're trying to hide the clear showmance between him and Tory. They'll allude to it. But then they'll act like it's kind of innocent and Faisal's just chasing her. But Tory did everything in her power tonight to basically look out for her man. Can we keep it funky? When have we ever seen Tory risk her social game and strategic game to get a skull or immunity secured for someone that wasn't her man already? This is the first time I've seen it. That's why I'm telling y'all, I think they're already an item when this happens. I think she's telling him, you can go ahead and fuck with Gabby because let's be real, I'm fast too. And we need the edit to make it look as if we no longer talking no more, that you got over me and you with her now. But then I'm going to do this move when you just get with Gabby to protect you. If I need to see a confessional from Gabby. I need to see something of her acknowledging the fact that Tory and Faisal are together, and she need to stop giving this motherfucker time. If Gabby still give this dude the box on the Roddy Rich side of the game, maybe she thought she had to become a pet vet, though. Now that I look at it, what if production is convincing Gabby she has to continue this showmance with Faisal to cover up what Tory is doing on the Dirty Mac side of the game? What if this is a huge con job, a huge genjutsu to throw us off the scent that we know already exists? And what if the Gabby Faisal storyline isn't even really real? Wow, that's deep. And I think that could be true. Because I just don't see a scenario where you rebound, get with a new girl, and then the girl you just left trying to protect you and get you back. Ain't you still engaged, bitch? Does it look right, ladies? Would you do that for a nigga that ain't yours? Would you do that for a dude that ain't yours? Seriously. You wouldn't do that. You need to be claimed first. Another man with one hand already put a ring on your hand. And you mean to tell me your best way to repay him for that is to help the motherfucker who broke this dude's arm get safety? Tory, what are you doing? Maybe y'all are meant for each other. Because in my book, y'all both ain't shit. I'm just saying. They both ain't shit. I'm not being overly judgmental. I'm telling the truth. Seriously, it's crazy to me, man. When have we seen Tory do something that wasn't pre-worked? Think about it, bruh. Oh, you have a point there, Ghost. For all we know, this could be a production move. She could have been coached to do this as well. But see, here's my thing, though. Why are production playing with kid gloves when it comes to just admitting that these two are fucking like jackrabbits? You know, we care so much about Jordan, we don't want to straight up cuck him on live TV. So we're going to act as if these two who are busting all kinds in a bathroom with no camera, we're going to act all of a sudden like that isn't real, that they're just working with each other platonically for strategy. The Rant God is here to break down your show. Y'all need to be more cognizant of the intelligence of your audience. Because I'm going to reveal the truth anyway. This was reckless, ladies and gentlemen. It was reckless, man. They should have thought long and hard about what they did tonight. I'm talking about production. I'm talking about Tory. I'm talking about Faysal. I'm talking about everyone involved. The only person I'm not mad at is Devin. Because Devin, he worked that shit in his best interest tonight, didn't he? Oh, he worked that shit. I mean, we got to give that guy credit. I mean, he's so smart. He said Tory could only keep 3 people safe. He gave her an extra. He let her keep a couple and Corey and Leroy. All he wanted was 3 people safe on his end. And he still finessed her to make the man she's in love with ruin his game. Which also caused a huge fissure between all of the black players, which made CT's side much stronger because now they can pick up the pieces from it. And what Faisal did tonight, in my opinion, is going to be the main reason why the Big Brother Alliance doesn't all make the end together. This move right here split up so many different things. And now with Faisal and Casey together as one team, it makes the Big Brother Alliance, it makes them more obvious. Meaning, do not be surprised if more people within the Big Brother sub-alliance get targeted on women and men's elimination weeks to get at Faisal indirectly. So in a way, Josh is going to be warranted for his problem with Faisal because he's going to understand what Faisal did last week, put a massive target on all of Big Brother. And it told Leroy and Cam they can't trust Big Brother, which pushes them towards CT. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a classic rant. I don't even want to sully it at this point. I'm going to leave y'all there, and we're going to reconvene. If you love this public rant, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is $4.99 to become a patron, and I guarantee you will love every second of it, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I give people 2 challenge rants a week. Sometimes I give them 1. It all depends on the type of information I come across in between episodes. But one thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, I truly appreciate and value every single one of you who showed up tonight to hear my thoughts on this episode. And I appreciate every single one of you who consistently go about your day, work super hard, come home, and you still find the time to rock with Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. I'm, of course, your humble host, Dave Smith, and this was the 11th Challenge 36 rant entitled something revenge, right? It's rare I forget, but in this case, I ain't want to get it wrong. It's revenge something, coach. But at the end of the day, it's all about how I feel, and it's all about the intent that really matters at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And I decided to make this public on the fly because I rock with y'all the long way, and I believe y'all needed this escape. Hopefully, if you don't become a patron in the future, hopefully this one episode will change the way you view the rest of the season moving forward, and that means I did my job well. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this rant, please leave a like, and of course, do not forget to subscribe, share this video, and comment underneath the video. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of your hair, man, and I'll see you all for another episode of Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism.